Today on our 2015 Subaru XV Crosstrek, we're going to take a look at and show you how to install the CURT Custom Fit Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver. This offers the 2-inch opening. Its part number is C13135. Now here's what the hitch looks like once we get it installed. As you can see, it tucks nicely right underneath the rear bumper. Really beefs up the look of the back of the car. Got tapered ends on each side, which add to the good looks of it. Nice black powder coat finish going to come all the way across. Now this one gives us the 2-inch by 2-inch opening, so this is going to be a very versatile hitch. The end of the receiver tube is just in recess from the back side of the bumper, so we won't have to worry about hitting it or bumping into it when we go by. But it's located far enough back where we can really get a lot of great uses out of it. We've got a 5/8" pinhole. This is going to work with all the 5/8 hitch pin accessories. As you can see, there's not really any interference from either side. And also the immobilizer would fit around there if you wanted to use like a hitch immobilizer. Go in there without any kind of issue. Now we can go up to a 525-pound tongue weight rating, so that's the amount of pressure we're putting down right here, the amount of pressure at our ball mount. You want to make sure that the Subaru can handle that. Check the owner's manual, use whichever of those numbers are the lowest. And it's also rated for a 3,500-pound gross trailer weight rating, which is the total of your trailer and everything you've got loaded up, all combined. Again, check and make sure that the Subaru can handle that. If not, use the lower of the numbers. Got nice safety chain connection points on both sides. It's kind of a rolled bar style. Plenty of room to get our connections in there. Won't have any kind of interference or anything like that. You see, it's just overall a nice, clean look. Fairly easy to install. You will have to enlarge one hole just a little bit, but not that big of a deal. Now, a couple measurements you'll find helpful in selecting your ball mount, bike rack, or maybe hitch cargo carrier. Be from the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, we've got about 13.5 inches. Then from the center of the hitch pinhole to the outermost edge of our bumper, we've got about 2. Now we're going to start by looking at our attachment points. Here on the passenger side, just beside the exhaust, we're going to have 3 plugs in the bottom of the frame rail. We want to remove the one that's in the back and the one that's in the front. The one in the middle, it can stay right where it's at. This one, and then in the exact same spot over on the driver's side. Now our forward attachment point here is also going to be our access hole. So we need to be able to pass our 1/2-inch bolt, carriage head bolt, up through that hole, as well as our spacers. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to use a rotary tool to enlarge it. We'll just check our hardware, make sure everything's going to go in okay. We'll start fish wiring our bolts into the location. Now we'll take the smaller of our 2 fish wires, pass it back through the frame, and you want to kind of just feel for it with your finger and pull that down and out. Now we're going to place on the smaller of the spacer blocks, the smaller of our carriage bolts. These will be the 7/16. We'll just feed those up in there separately. Now I'm going back to the rear and out, just like that. Now for our forward location, we're going to use the longer spacer blocks. These will be 3.5 inches. Wire goes up through, larger carriage bolt goes on the larger bolt leader. Place our bolt up and in, kind of push it back a little bit. Spacer block goes in. That's all there is for getting our attachment points in location here. We'll go over to the passenger side and repeat that exact same process. Now we're going to prep our hitch with the spacer blocks. These are going to go over the forward attachment point hole location. Yeah, so we just kind of get them taped on there, and then we'll clean out the hole. And we'll do that on both sides, so when we raise it into position, it'll be right where we want it. Now we can raise our hitch up into position. We'll get an extra set of hands to kind of guide it up into place. And then we'll just bring our bolts down through the spacer blocks. We also want our forward bolt to come through. And then we'll just thread on our flange nut. We can allow it to kind of rest there while we get our other one started. Then we can take our 7/16" flange nuts and put them on their rearward holes. All right, now all we have to do is get them torqued down to specification and we'll be done. With all of our fasteners torqued down, that's going to complete today's installation of the CURT Custom Fit Class 3 Trailer Hitch Receiver, part number C13135 on our 2015 Subaru XV Crosstrek.